Have you ever had a cut on your knuckle? What happens when you keep moving that finger a whole lot? It takes a lot longer to heal, right? This is how the injury to your low back, the original one, is like a cut on your knuckle. And how you're continually doing this even though you don't know it, and that's why it's not healing appropriately. Remember earlier we talked about the discs in the back? I'm holding the disc here. This one is a balance disc filled with air that you might use for balance training in the gym. I want to use it to help illustrate a point about your back. I want you to imagine what happens to the air in the disc when I stand on the middle of the disc. When I stand on the middle of the disc, the air is pushing equally on all sides of the container here. Very much like when you have the curve in your low back. The force of your body is pressing equally on all sides of the disc in your low back. Now, when you lose the curve in your low back, it's very much like me standing forwards on this disc. Now look at that under my feet. You can imagine that the air now is most greatly pushing backwards on the container. Over time, that will cause that portion of the container to thin. In your back, similarly, if you do a lot of bending and stooping, losing this curve in your back, or if you sit habitually with a C-shaped spine, losing this curve in your low back, then the discs will start to get thin on the back portion of them, and when you bend forwards, they press backwards on nerves that go down your legs. As that starts to thin more and you have an acute injury in that area, you can really have major problems that could require surgery. Paying attention to what we're talking about here and maintaining an appropriate curve in your low back, even when you're bending forwards, even when you're sitting, will help to keep that surgical problem out of your picture in the future, okay? When people unknowingly spend a lot of their life with this curve lost, that disc starts to ache, and your body says, we have to get this person to stand up straight. So these muscles on the back right here, they start to tighten and try to pull you back into a more upright position. Now you reach back here and you can feel the tightness and the tenderness in those muscles, and you think, oh, wow, the muscles in my back are really, really tight. I need to do something about that to make that muscle tension go away. What's the most natural thing for you to do to make a short, tight muscle feel better? Why, it's to stretch it, of course. And how would you stretch short, tight muscles right here? Most people would bend forward, losing the curve. And what happens when they bend forward and lose the curve? They're causing that disc to start to hurt in their low back. And then muscles, once again, spasm to try to pull you back upright. Temporarily, after stretching, these muscles feel so much better. But remember, they are secondary pain generators. The primary pain in your back is because of that disc in all likelihood. Now, if you change your position and put this curve in your back, you take away the reason for those muscles to get tight, and over time you feel much better, and your body is able to heal from that. When the muscles feel tight, go and get a massage, go see your chiropractor, go see a physical therapist. Put a hot pack on it at home, take a hot bath, sit in a jacuzzi. But don't try to address the tightness in these muscles by bending forwards like this.